Everyone. Hey, Lucas. How you doing? Thank you. This shirt is reflecting the sunniness outside. This shirt is actually white. It's just reflecting the yellow sun. That's a joke. Not a good one either. It's a really wild winter here in California. Generally, at this time, February, it would be at the very least cold. Cold. You would at least need a sweater, let's say. um, Hopefully, there'd be rain. Last winter, there was a lot of rain at this time. But now, for the past week or so, it's been like in the high 70s, almost 80s, which would be 27 degrees, 26, 27, something around there, I believe, Celsius. Hey, Jose. Hey, Carl. So yeah, it's kind of scary. I mean, yes, it is kind of scary that we're not having rain and they're already planning to declare water shortages again or water restrictions and such. But for all the disasters that could happen, at least there's nice weather to enjoy at the beach. But still would be a lot nicer to have some rain. Hey, Jazz, good to see you. Hey, Jose, we missed you as well. I was wondering where you were. That'll be 10 Ave Maria or 10 Kamashis. um, hey, so let's see. What's been going on with you guys? Hey, Scott. He's going to be, yikes. Yikes. Holy cow. I say holy cow and holy hell at the same time. That is quite hot. It was like that only once last August, 40 Celsius, and that was a real rarity, which was 106 degrees, I think, Fahrenheit. Phew, toasty time there. Um, the thing is, you Canadians stand on putting on the skates. um, yeah, the one upside though is, I mean, find the silver linings. There's not many weeds in the garden. This would usually be the time I'd be in the garden a lot, pulling out seeding grasses or stuff, catching it in time before it really spreads. And there's not that many out there, so I can be doing more recording and other bachido kind of stuff. Hey, on that note, there's a lot of. Did you make those itamaki? No, not these ones. This is the akatsuki, the real deal akatsuki from bachido, or the koki top and the special tochikarin bottom, and then this is koki. Let's get to the closer cam. These itamaki are koki on the kokutan, on the ebony. I tried, as you might have seen on the snakewood shamisen, I tried making this joined one. It worked for a while. Now, I guess snakewood is really hard to glue. I mean, there's a lot of problems with oils. And despite soaking it in acetone for a long time, at one gig, I was turning it and heard this little crack, and it just kind of split there. So I haven't attempted it again. Perhaps if I use softer wood, softer than snakewood, it would be fine, because it looks really nice having the black and the dark red. But personally, I won't attempt that again, I don't think. However, of course, there's never been any problems with the truly professionally made ones. But on that note, let's see. Oh, yes. On that note, I have a little show and tell for the current shamisen I'm making, I just put in this is one of the 3 itamakis. This is one I made recently. This is just a solid ebony, Macassar, whatever, ebony, and then some bird's eye maple, heavily figured bird's eye maple. Little tip there. That I don't have any worry of that coming off, and there I made glued kind of like a tenon, mortise tenon in there, so that should be just fine, hopefully. In any case, far less stress here than over here when it's turning. So this morning I installed that. Boy, it's so easy. I don't have a lathe, so I'm using the bench grinder, having that going and just having my finger here. If the disc is on this side, the stone wheel is on this side, I'm holding here and turning with my finger to make sure it's an even grinding, and doing that for about constantly for at least 30 minutes, maybe 40 or more. Mine just starts to wander, and my hand was turning it this way, so the back end was just kind of cutting into being cut in with the stone, then being even. So I, fortunately, was lucky enough to avoid. I caught it just in time, but blah, blah, blah. Got it almost all the way in, but had to stop to do some work, some other work. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Another cool thing about this one, got the zagane in. This is difficult. This is really tricky. With my other homemade shamisen, of course, I made my own zagane with like a copper washer and then brass sheet metal, and this I think soldered it together. And if I put it in, I drilled and reamed the holes first. And if I did that first, I could just make the zagane to fit the angle of the hole. However, these can't be adjusted. These are, I can show the originals. Just a moment. Here's a set of zagane. As you can see, it has an angle to it, and it's set so it can't be bent or changed, which means that the holes have to be, when I'm drilling it, I have to set the exact angle going in, making sure that angle is maintained while reaming, using the reamer. Because when using the reamer, it can still tilt more this way or this way as you're taking out wood as you twist it in. My snakewood one, it was perfect. This is pretty okay. You can't really see it. Yeah, you can't really see comparing with the Akatsuki. This one, of course, is completely flush. There's just a little gap here, but very little. So no, it's always a little nerve-wracking. But all's well that ends well. Since we're not ended yet. Yeah, that's that. Let me quickly check questions. Any questions? Blah, blah, blah. By the way, is making... Oh, cool. I look forward to seeing your your Yubikake jazz. That's cool. Thanks, Jose. It depends, Carl. Like, this is a homemade one. Maybe it's how it's knitted. It's pretty stretchy. Maybe it depends on the technique of how it's knitted. Oh, final thing with this Shim Sham. Did I mention about the different way of lacquering it, I guess? In case I didn't, I decided not to use urushi, so I used tung oil. I mean, after burnishing with the stone, I used the tung oil. Put another layer of tung oil, and that just dulled everything. Then tried Danish oil. That still dulled everything, and the little layer of varnish wasn't enough to make it kind of glossy again, even matte. And putting wax on top, that didn't help. So I used turpentine to take off as much varnish as I could. Then used that kind of automotive compound, cut. It's called cut and polish or something. It's an orange, kind of it's an abrasive orange compound. Putting it on to kind of make everything evenly rough or just evenly matte, I guess. Then using plastic scratch remover, which is a really fine compound, and then a plastic polish, which is even finer compound, and then wax on top of that. It's still not as good as it would be if there wasn't any tung oil, if I just used the camellia oil, but still it's a lot better than it was before. And it's just shiny enough, and putting your finger on it won't dull in it. It won't make it dull very much. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Anywho, that's not what I was meaning. The back plate, we have something cool and exciting and new. Installed a piece of, what's this called? Polycarbonate on the back. Why? Well, for two reasons. One, Reagan had noted, and I kind of agree, that instead of a skin on the back, having a PVC plate, like a resonator on a banjo, kind of pushes, reflects the sound waves even better. If it's a skin, the flexible skin can absorb the sound. But if it's like this, it goes kapwing from back, forth, back out again. And he had one on the Shamisen I saw at his place, and it sounded really good. So I thought, what the hell, give that a try. But also, the second reason, I have this Ayasugi pattern on the inside, and it'd be kind of nice to see that when the skin's on top. So if you have it back here, you can take a look inside as if it was a museum. I just have to be careful not to scratch it. This is a little bit of stuff from the epoxy, but you can just use a scratch remover, I guess. Anywho, I installed this by using a Dremel tool. First a Dremel tool just to kind of cut maximum depth sort of thing, and then used a chisel and sandpaper to kind of make it even all around. And then, boop, install that there with a little epoxy. Fancy time. Yes, that's that. Let's see, questions. Hey, Johnny, you made it. Eventually. There's some questions. Carl, that was that. Lucas, are you going to add Azumazawadi on it? No, not on this particular one. I have one left, and I'm going to save that for my next homemade shamisen, which is going to use the other sapeli wood I have. Yes, my new goal is to see how many shamisen I can complete before Larry finishes his first. That's my goal of this project. And I just have one Azumazawadi left, so I might as well use it for that. Or maybe it was too small from the start. Could have been too small from the start. But did a friend make it, or was it from Bachido? Because now at Bachido they seem to be more of a homemade kind of, or a different knitting process. It's not that real tight. The ones from China, I think, are really tight woven. Um, like the ones that's bright blue, bright red, black, and such. Um, yeah, those are really tight and very stretchy. But the ones made in Japan are kind of more, larger, a larger weave or whatever process, knitting process. So they aren't quite as flexible. Uh, that's true. Danish oil, yes, Danish oil. I'm not sure why they call it that. It's a mix of tung oil and varnish, and a bit of an accelerator or something, I think. Um, it doesn't make it completely glossy, but it does add a layer of varnish on top. It still needs at least, I don't know, shellac or some kind of polycarbonate, polyurethane if you're making a desk or something. Definitely not thin enough to use for an instrument like this. Um, let's see. Oh, jazz. I saw it last summer too, but it was Remo. Right, on one of his shamisen, Reagan's shamisen, he has Remo, but another one, he had a plastic blade, and so does Kiju as well. Poor Larry. Well, yeah, well, I mean, he deserves it in the most lovable way. I remember when he was visiting. Oh yeah, Jazz knows when Larry was visiting you. You wrote and said, uh, Larry thinks it's not fair that you're working on your shamisen without him, but it's like he's going on vacation. He could have been here. Not to. It's still, of course, great that he went to visit Bachido members. I think that's a noble cause, but still, it's his own it's his own choosing or doing. Hey, Roderick. Um, okay, all questions answered. And he's still on vacation. Right now he's in Vietnam visiting his family, or extended family. Right, so it's party with that guy. Um, okay, final thing before we start. Oh, I got epoxy here too. Oops. Final thing before we begin. Oh yeah, right, Carl. That is true. That's the disciple of Matsuhiro. That's Patsy. Inside joke, folks, or true story, as we also know it as. Let's see, another final story. My students and I had our first true gig. Better look at something else. This comment's distracting. But keep commenting. Yes, my students and I had our very first gig on Saturday. I mean, it was a gig where nobody else was playing as well. In the past few years, we've performed at different festivals where, 6 different people are performing throughout the day, and we're just one 30-minute, segment among them all. So it's kind of lower pressure and such. But this was a sushi restaurant, and we had an hour slot, and it was just audience eating and watching us. So it was more pressure for the students, which I was very happy with. I got into San Jose 3 or 4 hours before the gig to practice with some of the students, and 2 of them said that they were really nervous. They had been nervous, and they had practiced all week, every day, just for it. So I just, mission accomplished. That's what I've been waiting to hear for years. Not so much the nervousness, but that's okay. But, practicing every day. So much I had heard, at the group lesson. Student coming in saying, sorry, I didn't have time to practice this week. Okay. And every week we'd spend just relearning the same songs over and over again. Could never actually get into technique or new songs. But now we can, now that there's a purpose. It feels a lot different if you have a gig, have some kind of obligation like that. Even doing these lessons and such, I mean, when we do actually start playing, that inspires me, motivates me to, keep practicing as well. to kind of, you know, be a good example in some way. But it really had a different feeling. All the previous festivals we had done, you know, generally I find the gig. I say, hey, let's all play as a group. You know, we play. It still feels like teacher and students. But this gig was like one of the students found it and coordinated with other students to make it happen. And, you know, some of other us students, or me and deaf students, practiced just before the gig. Then we all met up, and it really had much more of a team kind of effort. It like felt, it went from just all of us meeting up and remembering and learning songs to like, yeah, we're doing this together. We're spreading our, you know, our shamisen, and it had a really good feeling. And I'm meeting them all on Saturday, so hopefully that feeling will continue, or not. We'll see what happens. Yes, I did get video. It's on my Facebook. I should post it. Should I post it? Yeah, I might as well post it to YouTube as well. But yeah, check out my Facebook thingy. I posted a whole bunch of them. And that's it. Okay, it's 1:20 here in Santa Cruz. I showed the Shim Sham. Anything else? Oh, let me show you the Igil. Oh, Roderick, I listened to some songs from you and the God of Shamisen. Oh, Kevin Metz. And I love your album on the Cuckoo. My favorite song was Og Belair, if I'm not mistaken. I'd love to hear more. Thank you so much. I'm glad you enjoyed that album and that song. That actually brings me to another story I'd like to talk about. It involves another instrument. I will be back. So, what's his name? Carl and I were doing a bit of the old recording recently, and on one of the songs, we decided a little Igil would sound good again. And it just kind of clicked, hit me. I mean, I hadn't wanted to use Igil in recordings really again because I had these homemade horsehair strings, and I couldn't, maybe I had too many strands on them, but I couldn't tune it very high because the strands would break. And not only that, but when bowing, it would have one tone like da, bowing one way, and then bowing the other way would be slightly sharp or slightly flat, another tone basically. Da, and dissonant, and because it was kind of tuned too low, the strands weren't tight enough, so it would just kind of change. And then I realized, hey, it's 28. Oh gosh, it's 2018. It's 2018. I'm sure strings are available online, right? And sure enough, it was. There were. Moor and Hoor strings were available, nylon. So I bought a whole set of those and put them on, and now we're recording again. It can be tuned much higher than I could before. They have some tuning issues while they're stretching, but That's one problem I'm kind of having. I'm not really sure what to do about that. That kind of sound. Is it the threads? Because that sounds fine. Da, da, da. I'm feeling it's something to do more with harmonics. Maybe the frequencies aren't balanced, or I'm not sure what. Using the fingernail, yeah. So that, I'm not sure. In this song that we're recording, I'm playing this note several times, recording with Carl. And I have no idea why. It makes it a little better bringing the bridge up. At least it's a kind of a clear harmonic. Oh, I do love that sound. I do love that sound. Oh, see ya, Jazz. It sounds really cool live in a way, but in the recording, it just, listening, it just really sounds strandy, if I may use that word. That stands out more than the actual tone of the E-gill. However, I had the E-gill facing this way, and the microphone was over here, about half a meter away or so. So that might have been a problem. I should have the mic facing more directly in front. Give that a try. Oh, see you all. Oh, what do you do similarly with your E-gill, Johnny? That could maybe help. Oh, see, Roderick. Thank you for Roderick. Thank you for coming. Have a good time at work and a good sleep. I don't think the mic is picking it up, but the clips I've seen online, I really like the distinct sound, which makes when changing the direction of the bow. Ah, I see, Johnny. I used this. Yeah. I don't know. Somehow I got him. I'll make it work. I just have to learn to like it. Using a high compression, I have a kind of a preset called close-up vocals or something, and that helped a lot for E-gill. It kind of gave it a real woody tone. It helped with the kind of strandiness of it. Oh, actually, Carl had a good suggestion, which helped me fix it. Reducing the reverb and taking off the delay. That actually helped a lot. And that brought to light a bigger problem, which was I was out of tune. That's also a factor. Yeah, Johnny, I think E-gill, and probably Morin-Hur as well, are quite forgiving instruments. Because it has a big skin and thick strings and all with the, with the Erhu and violin with the metal strings. You have to have like real confidence and such just to get it to sound good, because that kind of hesitation will make it sound worse, like and such. But if kind of going slowly, sounds scratchy, of course, but much more easier on the ears. Oh, you tried using the bow for a shamisen? We did that too once. Did you find the rosin like stuck to the strings and it was hard to clean off? This is called igil. Sometimes they're on eBay, I think, or some sites. I do believe the bridge is usually up here, so that does make a difference. I mean, it should be up here. This is also solid ebony, black and white ebony, as it's called. But maybe using, I don't know, a softer wood might help with the tone better, make the tone better. I should try that. Also the horse head, which implies the power of Genghis Khan. Yes, it is. It's kind of curious, though. I mean, the actual origin and such. Because there's certain kinds of this, like in Altai, to the west of Tuva, and similar kinds in the. I'm not sure. Well, of course, Africa is where it must have initially came from in its journey, along with the shamisen and such. But I mean, I wonder. Yeah, originally, before Mongolia, I wonder. All right. Well, enough for this stuff. How about we get into the old Turkish March? Oh, I have one last thing to say to everyone. Love you all? No, that's not it, but not necessarily untrue. Yesterday, had a Skype meeting with fellow Philippe this is Shamisen. Philip in Berlin. He is a member of Shamisen Berlin. I think Carl met him at the Shamik Camp Berlin a few years ago. Anywho, he's a luthier as well as a bookmaker, typesetter and layout, all that kind of stuff. And he's going to help us with making Jerry McGoldrick's Folk Songs of Japan lyric book. 25 years ago, Jerry McGoldrick, who did his dissertation on Tsugaru Shamisen, and we did a podcast on Bocce on the Horn a few months ago. 25 years ago, he wrote a book called Folk Songs of Japan, which is a great, it has 30 folk songs from kind of main folk songs from different prefectures around Japan. It has the kanji for the songs, as well as the romaji and the English translation. So it's really, it's very fun to read. Whether or not you're going to sing the song, it's a lot of fun to read. And I first saw it at his place in 2014. It was just sitting on his bookshelf, just this little thin booklet. It's like, well, Jerry, what's this? And he described it. It's like, I'm sure Bocce members would love to have this as a resource too. Unfortunately, Jerry and I don't know all that much about, good layout for books and things. And my brother, who helped me with Shamisen of Japan, moved out. So yes, long story short, too late. Philip is helping make it professional and such. So hopefully that book will be available, I don't know, June, hopefully May, June, earlier, hopefully, or later. Yeah, look for it. It'll be coming to Bocce. Okay. Kevin's Turkish March video is in the related video section right now for me. Probably because I have the title of this live is Turkish March, so that must be why. People are going to be so upset when they find out that half of this isn't Turkish March. Hey, that brings up something. I got this nasty comment yesterday or the day before. I had the making of Shamisen section. Is making of Shamisen videos I did 12 years ago or so, or I don't know, however long. And it has a making of Shamisen Do, making of Shamisen Sol, making of Shamisen Tenshin, and then making of Shamisen Rokudan, Yasabra Bushi, Ringo Bushi, the songs played on that shamisen. And the person said, like, YouTubers are such idiots. This title of this video has nothing to do with making of the shamisen. Don't bother responding because blah, blah, blah. You're an idiot, such. Oh, he must be feeling really bad when he found out that he himself is the idiot. But I didn't even have to mention anything. So that was convenient. But neither an apology. Okay. 50% done. Damn comments. Shamisen, people interested in Shamisen tend to be pretty good about that. There usually isn't that many ash holes, if you know what I mean. But there is the occasional, the scum does rise to the top. They see me commission. They hatin'. Okay. Who wants to Turkish March? I know I do. Should we just move on to the next part? Let's do it. So let's just quickly review the section before the section we'll get to. We start on 13 or 14 flat. So 10, 12, 13 flat, as it's called. Flat, 14 flat. And everything will be down, up, down. flat, 14, flat, 12, 10, 12, 10. Flat, 14, flat, 12, 10, 12, 10. Oh, and. Then, flat, 8. Yeah, it's kind of scale. Oh wait, yeah, that's what it is. We got that? Oh, hey, Slicing Katana. Yeah, I should do more videos of that. It's been a while. Now that I have some good strings, I probably will get back into that. I've been singing a lot more recently, so my voice is quite warmed up. That'll be fun. Like that. Flat, 14, flat, 12, 10, 12, 10, flat, 8, 10, flat, 8, then 7, 7, 8, flat, 7, 8, flat, 7, like that. Then, I think that's where we left off. Then, we're going to go to 8 on Ni no Ito, and let's really spread our fingers to go 8, 8, 9, 10. Oh, wait. Okay. I think it's 10. Maybe it's 11. I think it's 11. 8, 9, 11. Or maybe it's 10, actually. Probably 10. Pitch is a little off. I'm sorry. Maybe it is 10. 11, I mean. So we got that? Then 7, 6, 7. Oh, no, sorry. 8, 7, 8, 7, 8. There we go. Ooh, excellent. I think e-gills tend to be around $400 or $500 or so, but they're so fun. That's probably 10. 8, 8, 7, 8, flat 10, flat 10. Any questions about that, let me know. We can bring this camera a little closer. There we go. Oops. And that'll be flat, 14 flat, or 13 sharp, then 13. That. Like that. If you guys if you guys have notice anything, like if I'm saying 10 and it actually is 11, or if I'm saying 11 it's actually 10, or something with my notes seems wrong, please let me know, because I do get a little confused with what the actual position is. It's something that oh, it was nice. Okay. Oh, I get a little confused about at this section too. From there, da, 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 14 sharp, then 12. Oh, Carl. Then 12, 10, 12, 10, flat, 8. Twelve, 10, 12, 10, flat, 8, 10, flat, 8. Then, big spread, 6, 8, flat. Ooh, watch them pitches, folks. Oh, Katana, you're a kid. Yay. We love kids. Kids with interest in traditional arts is an excellent thing. Yeah, Carl, watch your language now. Ooh. Yeah, okay. Any questions about that whole segment? Next part I always get a little confused about. Last run through. Sorry. Then will be 6. Sorry, 8, 8, 9, 10. 8, 9, 10. Sorry, yeah, 8, 9, 8, 9, 10, 8. Like that. Then 9, 10, 12, 10. Now this final note, if I listened to the actual recording, this would have answered everything. I forgot to do that, so I'm not quite sure about the last notes. I thought it ended on 7. But somehow that doesn't sound right. Okay. What do you think about that? I'm not sure. So that's 8. Then we go to 8 here. Then 9. But it has to end a note below 8. Which would be 7. What do you say, Carl? Technically, that sounds most on pitch. I mean, it sounds decent. 6, 7, ending on 7. But something, I don't know, to me doesn't sound right. But I'm not sure. Seems like it should end on a major, kind of, instead of there, but I'm not sure. Maybe it is. Oh, okay, Lucas. Well, I think we've covered everything for today's section of the song. I'll definitely research those parts. That does sound wrong. I will research those parts before making the notation for them, and definitely by next class, or next meetup, I'll have that figured out. Yeah, I don't know. Just ending on that minor doesn't really seem right. Good night, Lucas. See you, Johnny. Oh, I see. I thought Johnny's dog also wants to pee. Maybe not. Nah, I don't know. But that doesn't sound good either. Because with a kid and doing some bass projects already, I can't be a bass player. Okay, well that's. Oh, thanks, Katana. Miss Slicing. Oi, gotta fix this. Let's see. Few more minutes here. I'm going to show a final. I changed the ending to my Jonkara a bit. As you know, there's some different endings people do. Like, hi. Like that. Or just but then of course people also do wildy kind of things. I'm not sure how much it actually plays a role in getting points at the Taikai, how florally your ending is. I'm planning maybe 2019 to compete again. And if I do, I don't want to do this my usual one, which is because I'm a little worried about getting caught up on the that note, especially if the adrenaline gets rocking. I preferred that to be both, strong. So to get around that, my plan is to go just up until wait. I can avoid those double strikes. That sounds a little like there's more to that song to me. Reminds me of the riff in the middle of Jonkara's. Yeah, I wonder, maybe it is. Some people do like a little tiny extensions. I think I've seen on some tournament Jonkara. I'm not sure. Yeah, does it make it sound like the song's just going to continue on? Actually, I don't even have to do double note, maybe. No. We don't have to do double note. Huh, I wonder. I had a little dynamics there. Yeah, it's the, I think the sixth note. Oh, Slicing Katana. I played this just earlier in the broadcast, or earlier in the live stream. So you can check that out later. Are the spectators in the crowd, or is people competing in the judges? Yeah, spectators are there. And the C class, in the C class, like the more beginners, just a couple people in the audience, maybe family or whoever's there, like maybe 10% full, the auditorium, if that. B class a bit more, and then A class has the most people, because that's what the kind of like the Shibata Kyodai and like the real creme de la creme players are there. Okay, well, we covered a lot today. This was fun. Thank you all for that idea last week about making just regular Bachido Schoolhouse, lessons for the full songs we've covered. I'm planning after Turkish March, after we finish Turkish March, I'll just record that whole thing and just make a lesson for that, as well as the other songs we've done. So that's good. That was good. Okay, time for breakfast and such. Have a good day, everybody. Yeah, the one with Grant was really nice. I liked. Okay, see you all in a few weeks, I do believe. Bye-bye.